All right, now it's time for number 3, my favorite WrestleMania of all time. At number 3, well, it's Gary's number 4. It's WrestleMania X7. WrestleMania 17. How could this not be the greatest WrestleMania of all time, in my opinion? Oh my gosh. Since a lot of people consider this to be the best WrestleMania of all time, I beg to differ, saying it's possibly a little overrated. Little bit. Don't get me wrong. I love WrestleMania 17. And it's in my top 5 for a reason. But I can't ignore that there were 4...
Peanut butter and hit you in the head.
You already said what you had to say, so be quiet, mister. It's in my top 5, but I can't ignore the fact that 4 out of 9 matches were a little bit of a drag. 4 out of 9 were a little bit of a drag. Jericho versus Regal was a little too Eddie Guerrero versus Test, weak.
Testosterone, more like it.
The 6-man tag, weak. Chyna getting a women's title match.
Oh, come on, man. Ivory broke her neck.
She got her a sprain. It was a sprain.
Whatever. I mean, it's still.
It really but those 4 out of 9 matches, I think it puts it down a little bit. Puts it down a little bit.
Chyna got the women's title match because she just got done with her sex change operation.
If this were to be the best WrestleMania, then there shouldn't be any bad match. There should not be a single bad match.
Every WrestleMania has a bad match.
I know, and people say that this is the best. I'm also not too happy with the ending of the show. Because it was set up for the ever-so-pointing storyline known as the Invasion. And it's really sad to see WCW and ECW be bought by the WWF in 2000. And this show just represents the dominance of the competition because those 3 organizations and then set them up for a messy angle that the company was heading for.
The Invasion, out of anything that happened in the WWF, the Invasion was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, the reason why we hated the Invasion angle because they didn't make it into a long-awaited WWF versus WCW show. That should have.
They didn't euthanize some of the top stars in those respectable.
Yeah, exactly. It should have featured the NWO. It should have featured Sting. It should have featured Ric Flair. It should have featured DDP and the rest of the most important figures of WCW. Instead, it was just another McMahon family feud.
You want to know something that I kept having dreams about? I still do occasionally. Invasion 2.0, WWE versus TNA. I kept having dreams about that. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but I'm just saying.
Anyways, for what it was, WrestleMania X7 was still a solid show, and still could go down as one of the best WrestleManias of all time. Vince versus Shane, no holds barred. Austin versus The Rock, 2. Undertaker, Triple H, Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit, or the Rabid Wolverine. An amateur wrestling match, and especially TLC 2. That capitalized the Triangle Ladder match the previous year at WrestleMania 2000. And this show had something for everyone, whether it be the old school fan with the 20-man battle royal, hardcore wrestling with the hardcore title match, amateur wrestling with the Kurt Angle Rabid Wolverine match, sportsmanship with the whole Undertaker Triple H match, and more each match. Yeah, and more each match on something has something on you. Still to this day, wrestling fans everywhere still debate which card has the best. Which was the best match on the card? For me, I believe it's TLC 2.
Oh yes, definitely.
By far.
Definitely.
So, yeah, you guys pretty much explained, or Gary pretty much explained, went down through everything. So yeah, that's why WrestleMania X7 is my number 3. Who's next?
This is
Gary.
me. My number 3 happens to be the number that comes after 18.
19.
18. Again, I'm going to get into the specific matches.
Specific.
Specific. That's specific.
Specific.
Specific. But anyways, I thought, okay, I'm going to say it anyway, at the beginning of it, I'm not going to talk about the Lance Storm and Chief Morley. I'm going to talk about the Cruiserweight. That was, in my opinion, not really much of a good Cruiserweight match. I hated that match. That was the only match I pretty much didn't like. But anyways, get to the specifics. The original was supposed to be a tag team match between Undertaker and the new guy, Nathan Jones, but apparently he was somehow knocked out backstage, so it was a handicap match.
He was too green, that's why he didn't wrestle.
Against Big Show and A-Train. Undertaker, I mean, obviously, the American Badass at the time, he did really well against those two big guys all by himself. He didn't need no damn tag team partner as it was. But anyways, moving on up. The Shawn Michaels vs. Chris Jericho match. That match was pretty much one of the best.
Phenomenal.
It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
Wait, no. What was it, Jerome?
It was phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Phenomenal.
It's so fantastic. It's so great.
Yeah, go.
It's that match, how those at each other, it was a beautiful gold match. Pretty much the second match to me of the whole, so that was a big highlight. But the ending too, how Chris Jericho kicked Shawn Michaels right in the balls like that in the end. Classic Jericho. But anyways, the Triple H and Booker T match, just like Steven said, I thought Booker T had this match.
He should have won.
He should have won indeed, but Triple H had it. Next up the match, I was talking to Jay Money about it. I thought it wasn't going to be, these two going at each other. I thought, okay, it's not going to be that good, and shut up Facebook. But apparently it was actually pretty good. Hulk Hogan.
It was fun as shit.
Hulk Hogan versus Mr. McMahon.
Oh, yes.
What I loved was how Roddy Piper came out and pretty much assisted Mr. McMahon, you can say, with that steel pipe he had. And I thought McMahon almost had it, but no, he didn't. Hulk Hogan hit the leg drop and defeated McMahon like that. The last ever match with Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. All I can tell you is that I wish Stone Cold Steve Austin won that match, but hey, it was his last match. I mean, The Rock and Austin, I mean, they fought each other multiple times, and I thought this was a great match, and I gave Austin a major applause for winning. Lesnar and Kurt Angle match, the main event. Lesnar, I never thought in my life seeing Brock Lesnar do a 450 splash like that and completely. What was it? What did he do?
No, it was a shooting star press.
Shooting star press.
Excuse me.
And like what Kurt Angle said, because this is what Kurt Angle said, that was supposed to end the match.
Yep.
And when he saw what Lesnar did, he thought he practiced this, before the show, and he hit it perfect every time. When he saw that happen in the ring, he thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Thought he was dead. I mean, he was not moving whatsoever, but Angle managed to pick up.
Lights are on, but no one's home.
And surprisingly, I thought Lesnar was done after he hit that shooting star press. I thought he was done. And plus, I never thought seeing Lesnar do that.
That was his finisher.
In OVW.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, now I know. But anyways, I thought it had an alright ending. So pretty much that's all I can really much tell you about the pay-per-view. I just gotta talk about the specifics.
This is specific.
The specifics.
That's right, the specific, if you will. Oh my goodness.
The specific.
All right, Steve.
Okay.
Number 3.
My number 3 favorite. Now, this one that I think was pretty good because it has one of my favorite matches in it, I should say. And a couple others that were pretty good as well, but they've already mentioned this as well. And my number 3 is, of course, with the tagline, Once in a Lifetime. WrestleMania 28, yes. Now, yes, the main event was great, like you guys said and stuff, but, you know, it wasn't the best, and was it as good as the end of an era? Oh, hell.
Hell no.
I mean, look at this. You got Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee. In my opinion, the best match of the night. Triple H makes his entrance. The Undertaker makes his entrance with his new attire, and we're saying to ourselves, are we going to see like a bald Undertaker or something like that? But instead, we see him with a mohawk. I'm like, yeah.
Also, I don't think I've ever seen this done before. They had an entrance for the Hell in the Cell.
Yeah, with the song by
Metallica.
With the song by Metallica.
Memory Remains.
Memory Remains. I couldn't remember it. I almost said Nothing Else Matters after that. And yeah, just a great.
That would have been awesome too.
Or Enter Sandman, one of them, whatever. But okay, but when it came down, then everybody's like getting all pumped up, and of course JR is doing commentary for it as well. But Michael Cole, why did he have to do it as well? If it just would have been Jerry Lawler and JR, that would have been fine. But
absolutely
not Michael Cole.
Take his damn headset. I would have taken his damn headset off.
Someone shoved a big, massive dildo in his mouth so he doesn't talk anymore.
Better yet, call Adam Fistino Rosebud's sex slave Bunny to be with Michael Poultry.
What he said.
God almighty. But nonetheless, when I saw this and when I saw the match and when I saw the sweet chin music to him, then the pedigree, and I was just going, oh shit, it's over. And then he kicks out, and I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, what?
And I'm just like, wow, amazing. He wants. I really thought the streak was gonna end.
I thought everybody did.
I mean, because with the tagline being the end of an era, and I'm like, okay, something is bound to happen. So, but I mean, then here comes like the tombstone hymn, the 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Then they help up Triple H, and then they embrace each other, and then that was just basically it. And then there you go, and just a show of appreciation right there. And there you go.
Yeah.
And then of course the main event, Rock and Cena, Part 1. I mean, great event. I mean, but despite this guy doing the Rock's theme, or whoever was it, Pitbull, or whoever the hell.
Hey, no, Flo Rida.
Flo Rida, whatever. And yeah, but it was a great match still, nonetheless. But there were some people that were like pretty much going for Cena to win, but it was in the Rock's hometown as well. But still,
celebrities.
Yeah, but it was a great main event. Not the best, but that's why I have WrestleMania 28 as my number 3.
Let's not forget CM Punk and Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, so every time I hear Steve say great, it reminds me of Lucas.
Don't.
Sorry.
Okay, then I'll think of another for.
No, he's a Ravens fan. Lucas is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
I'm sorry. I just had to throw that out.
He's the douche. I'm the dude.
Yes. Jerome. Número 3.
Número 3. My number 3, let's just say that this was X-rated.
14.
WrestleMania 14. Now, the debate what is the best match on this card is difficult because there's 2 matches that stand out. You have the main event and you have brother versus brother. And one of those 2, because they were I believe those were the last 2 matches, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. And rightfully so. I mean, you had the dumpster tag team match. I had to laugh at that, You had the mixed tag match, Triple H and Owen Hart, like you were saying, LOD. But this was the pay-per-view that helped, even though it wasn't, the Austin and Bret Hart was sort of the beginning, it was this pay-per-view that put it on the spot.
Yep. The mainstream.
Made it the Attitude Era. And the day after, on Raw, where's my championship belt?
Oh, yeah, that one.
That championship belt was debuted after 10 years with the Golden Eagle. So, you pretty much covered it before, and that's all there is to say. It was the match. What WrestleMania 3 did for that time period, WrestleMania 14 did for that current time period. So that's why it is my number 3. And You cannot forget. No, I'm Mike Tyson, man. Let me tell you something. I want
Oh my God,
I'm Michael, man. He's a bitch, man.
I'm gonna break his ear off.
I like Stone Cold, man. Stone Cold is bad motherfucker just like I was, man. When I was talking to people, that's right.
I'm gonna have a pin and shit on his ass.
Yo, I'm gonna nip on his ear like big red chewy gum and chew one on it like a Triscuit.
I'm gonna pin and shit on his ass.
Oh, I love Mike Tyson, dude. So yeah, there you have it. Oh, and also, Mike Tyson, he actually played a cool role. Even though it was the fastest 3 count of all time, he played a cool role. I will give it that.
All right, now on to number 2.
Number 2, John
Number
Cena.
2, John Cena.
My number 2
Well,
is
speaking of John Cena, he's in the main event, so. Of my number 2, WrestleMania. I couldn't never believe that there would be a WrestleMania in my top 5 that was from the PG era.
Yeah.
The
Same
PG
here.
era. That even entered, even in the top 10.
Yeah.
Because, let's face it, 27,
Oh.
29, 30, 26.
Hey, 30 was good.
I know, but not enough to make the top 5. Not enough to make the top 5. 25 was terrible. So I guess that just leaves one.
Pretty much.
The one where I was at.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 28. Besides the disappointing opening match with Daniel Bryan's 18-second defeat, the show made the right booking decisions, and the structure of the card couldn't have been any better, honestly.
You know what's funny? What was the match after the end of an era?
Johnny versus Teddy.
You could have heard a fucking pin drop because
No one cared.
no one gave a after that match. No one gave a flying fuck.
No one cared.
And I said this before. If you asked me if there was one match you could have saw in person with a crowd, it's the end of an era.
And we haven't had a great WrestleMania since WrestleMania 20.
2021, yeah.
2021. And this show delivered all the goods that we have been waiting for from the WWE for a long, long, long time.
Is it the highest grossing WrestleMania?
It is. It is. Because of the main event.
Yeah.
Because of the main event.
It was the most anticipated
Match.
WrestleMania ever.
Yeah, because 27 was basically a commercial for 28.
It was an advertisement.
And like you guys said, the epic finale between Triple H and The Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell was one of the best in-ring storytelling matches that WWE has ever told.
I said it is the best. I said it is the best.
The athleticism between CM Punk and Chris Jericho was impressive. Eve Torres creating so much heat in the Divas division was hell of a lot of fun.
Mrs. Tits.
And The Rock beating John Cena was true fan satisfactory.
You know what I loved about that? Okay, even though the match was good, I loved the last 10 minutes of that match because when The Rock does a crossbody and he, Cena was super, but it was impressive and he did FU. I thought he won there.
No, hell no.
I thought he was like, oh no. And when The Rock won, and seeing Cena just sitting there like, pounding a little bitch, I love the reactions on YouTube where the little kids are crying. I was like, that's right, you sons of bitches! Attitude era! Boots to asses!
Boots to asses, motherfucker.
That was funny shit.
I'm just like, that's right, you dumb little shits!
You
little
know-
Fruit Loop geniuses!
Fruit Loop dinguses.
That was funny shit, man.
Here's why I think The Rock won.
Because it was in his hometown.
It was in his hometown, and by this point, he was a celebrity. And WrestleMania, celebrities have always been undefeated at WrestleMania.
Dude, he's one of the biggest action stars.
I'm aware of that.
And rightfully so.
I'm aware of that. But people see him as a celebrity now. And celebrities are undefeated at WrestleMania. And that's why I think he won that.
You want to know celebrity I changed?
Mr. T. Yeah, Mr. T.
Mr. T, Lawrence Taylor,
Oh my god, yeah.
who else? Floyd Mayweather.
Pete Rose, no.
Oh, what was that? Who's that? Another celebrity on the same show.
Floyd Mayweather.
On the same show. On the same show. It was Maria Menounos.
Oh,
Maria Menounos. Yeah, and Mickey Rourke. Wait, no, he was just a part of a match. Snooki, she's undefeated.
jeez, Snooki.
I was surprised when she did those springboard.
That was so dumb. Anyway, the WB did not only give the fantastic show, but the company rewarded its longtime fans with real satisfactory.
Yeah, absolutely.
It shows like this are the reason why we're all huge wrestling fans in general.
Not casual.
Not casual. Yeah, exactly. Not casual.
Never stepped in a wrestling ring before.
I can never imagine anything in my life could have been more pleasurable as the good old days. But with effort, timing, and planning, there are things that are worth living for, like this.
Yep. And that's why that End of an Era match is my favorite match of all time. And
Absolutely.
One match out of any match in history you watch, live, it would have been that match.
Sure, the beginning of the show tested our patience a little bit, but the second half, and especially the finish, was none other than one of the best moments in
Ever.
WrestleMania history. And that's why WrestleMania 28 is my number 2.
Very good.
Yo, Assassin!
My number 2, in my opinion, this is what I think. I think it's your number 1 because they had one of your favorite matches of all time.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Specifically. I am talking about WrestleMania 12. I'm talking about WrestleMania 12. Again, I'm talking specific.
Specific.
The Roddy Piper versus Goldust match.
Oh, sure.
Hollywood Backlot Brawl. I could not help but laugh at that match.
Him grabbing his nuts.
I thought the build-up to that match where Goldust had this little fetish fantasy with Roddy Piper. The build-up to it was completely unquestionably weird as hell, but that was the point of Goldust's gimmick. But to the match itself, I thought it was entertaining as ever. But one thing that really made me laugh is how he just stripped Goldust out of his suit and he was in a lingerie.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I couldn't help but laugh. And he just
Yeah.
left the arena and pretty much Piper picking up the win. You could say.
Oh, shoot.
Holy shit, it was hilarious. The Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Savio Vega, that match was alright. I mean, this is when he was with Ted DiBiase. That match.
Vega.
The match that you got that was ultimate, and when I say ultimate, I'm talking about the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, yeah.
39 match against Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
No sold the pedigree.
That was bullcrap.
When he saw the pedigree, come on, it was the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, of course he got back up. I mean, there's no affection to the Ultimate Warrior whatsoever. But the way he just took out Hunter Hearst Helmsley like that, about a minute, that was awesome as ever. That was just awesome. Also, getting to the 16 match of The Undertaker versus Big Daddy Cool Diesel. I mean, I thought, it was just me, I thought Diesel had the match won because it was pretty much all him you could see. But yeah, getting to the ending, I thought 3 jackknives did it. But no, it was The Undertaker, it was WrestleMania, so of course The Undertaker would be, what's that word?
Fantastic?
No, not fantastic. Immoral. Immoral. I think that's the word. Immoral.
No, I wouldn't say that because Brock Lesnar proved that wrong.
Come on. Oh, come on.
How come?
Oh my god.
Damn it. Yeah.
Anyways, I hate you.
I know.
Anyways,
I love you too.
it was alright, but the way he gave Big Daddy Cool Diesel the tombstone, just held him up like that, I'm gonna say fantastic. It was fantastic.
That was phenomenal.
Ending the match like that, Undertaker picking up the win. Now I want to get to pretty much the highlight, yet the golden match of that show. The boyhood dream has came true with Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart in that 60-minute Iron Man match.
Best match
Wow.
ever.
Goldust to the main event. We go from golden shower to golden match.
Golden showers make fucked up flowers to a golden match.
That'll be next.
That match was gold. Neither one of them picked up a win throughout that whole time until the ending. I mean, just all the technical moves, the sweet chin music that Shawn Michaels gave to. Who was that I gave it to?
The ring guy.
Yeah,
The ring guy. One of the crew. One of the crew members.
So yeah, anyways, those two kept going head to head, and all of a sudden, Hart picked up the win by what was it? The
Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter, and Shawn Michaels did not submit whatsoever, and he somehow retained. Then Grillman.
We're going to overtime, Michael.
Overtime.
We're going to overtime, Michael.
We're going into extra innings, Michael.
At the start of the match, Shawn Michaels hit Hart with the switching music. 1, 2, 3. Shawn Michaels became the champion. Also, I should have mentioned it earlier, but I didn't. Shawn Michaels' entrance to the ring.
Oh yeah, coming through from the rafters.
Just
Vince Russo take notes.
yes.
Bastard. Anyways.
One of the best entrances.
Fuck that guy.
So yeah, anyways, pretty much the Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart, that Iron Man match, one of the greatest matches of all time for sure. And that's all I can pretty much say is just that WrestleMania was just awesome.
Off the chains. Charisma.
Alright, my number 2, Alexander the Great, happens to be a great WrestleMania because I watched this on pay-per-view, and the reason I watched this is because of one specific match I wanted to see was the return of someone. But not only that, it was great, but the opener was pretty good. Some matches, like, well, one of them, which was the worst of all time.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yep. So, and just to say the tagline, where it all began
Again.
WrestleMania XX
20.
Right. Now, I had to get this on pay-per-view because I really wanted to see, of course, the return of The Undertaker.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't have anything against the American Badass, don't get me wrong. The American Badass is great, but returning as the Dead Man, you know, with Paul Bearer as well, when you hear the, oh,
True.
yes, that really blew the roof off the building. And then here come the Druids as well, and then his entrance, and he's got, like, kind of like his American Badass gimmick still, but the crowd was pretty quiet for the match, in my opinion. I mean, the match, like you said, should have been a little bit longer, and
I will give this about The Undertaker. Now, John Cena, take notes. Because he hasn't done the same shit for over 10 fucking years. Undertaker, he went from, like, the Western, the old-style Western Undertaker to, like, the Ministry of Darkness.
He had that mask on his face or something.
Mask on his face, kind of with the opera shit. I don't know what the hell that was. And then, he had the Ministry of Darkness, the American Badass, and then the Phenom. I mean...
Big Evil.
Big Evil. But they all resembled the character he was portraying.
Yeah.
John Cena, Fruit Loop Genius, Sterling King Hippo, take notes. Go ahead, Steve. I apologize. I had to get that out.
no problem. Anyway, but the opener, which was John Cena and Big Show, and surprisingly, Cena getting a big pop from the crowd despite being from Massachusetts and all that, and they're in New York at Madison Square Garden. But it was a
Yeah, true.
yeah, but still, it was a great opener too, and the Doctor of Thugonomics, not the you can't see me bullshit and all that, and the tag matches as well, like you mentioned. But the Raw one was okay, but the SmackDown one, APA, Basham Brothers, Too Cool, and what was the other one?
It was Basham Brothers, Too Cool, APA,
World's Greatest
and
Tag Team, right?
World's Greatest Tag. Yes.
Right. Yeah, that one was pretty good, and of course, as you mentioned, Evolution, Orton, Batista, and Flair against the Rock and Sock connection for the first time since like $2.99 or something like that.
Yeah.
And pretty good match, but I thought at least the Rock and Foley get it, and Do I dare get into the worst match?
No, no, save it.
Hold up.
Save it.
Okay, you're right.
Save it.
I'm not gonna. Okay. All right. The women's championship, Victoria and Molly Holly. I'll get into that. It was, it was all right. It went pretty slow, but then, well, not slow, but kind of. It wasn't really a long match, but then Molly Holly gets her head shaved, and Victoria straps her in and around her breasts as well, so she can't move.
Barber chair.
I know, but just seeing her when that happened, I mean, I was just saying for a fact, I don't think Victoria's gonna lose this. I could see Molly Holly losing it. So, and Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle, like you said, underrated match. I agree.
Hell yeah.
Eddie Guerrero unties his boot and he holds onto the rope to get the win, and he lies, he cheats, he steals, as you used to say, and
Eddie wins! Eddie wins! Eddie wins! He cheated, Cole!
he cheated, Cole. That's what he does. He lies, he cheats, he steals.
And then play by the rules, Michael.
Oh, God.
But another one as well, what was it? The Playboy or the women.
The evening gown match.
Whatever
The
it was,
cheese
yeah.
break.
Yeah, the return of Sable and Tori Wilson, and again, Stacey Keebler and Charlie Haas's wife, Miss Jackie. And I thought it was pretty good as well. And no comment on the Raw tag matches because I thought it was just so-so.
The wrong team won, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And what else to say? The cruiserweight match as well between Chavo Guerrero against all them other people. But the funny thing about it, Ultimo Dragon took 2 slips. When he made his entrance, he slipped on entrance. I had it recorded on tape, but on DVD they just edited it out.
No, and then Funaki goes for a crossbody and gets in the, what was it, small package, 1, 2, 3, he's out.
Yeah, by Jamie Noble, I think. And no, it wasn't. It was it was.
I think it was Funaki.
No, I thought it was Shannon Moore that did that.
Shannon, I think it was Funaki or Shannon Moore, one of the two.
Yeah, I think it was Funaki. I haven't seen it in a while. Anyway, it was good, but wrong guy won. I thought Mysterio was gonna get it, and loved his entrance. It was
Yeah, the Flash.
And Billy Kidman as well, doing that
Shooting star press.
Yeah, the shooting star press off of the rope, better than Lesnar, and great move that he did as well. But speaking of Lesnar, I think I'm just gonna get into that. So I don't know why, but what the hell, man? This match was absolutely, I agree, the worst, because you got 2 guys here that are basically leaving after this, Lesnar and Goldberg, and the crowd are chanting random chants this is bullshit.
They were chanting for they were chanting for a guy who was, they were chanting for a guy who was dressed as Hogan. Hulk Hogan, he was doing the poses and stuff, he was in the crowd. I'm not joking.
I know, I heard it too, but this random chants going on, it was hilarious, but I mean, the match was horrible and nobody was interested, and the match is finally over, and Lesnar gives the fingers to everybody. He gets a stunner. Stone Cold has a beer with Goldberg, stuns him, and there you go. Then we move on to the main event: Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and the Crippler, that guy. Great main event. I mean, lots of blood as well, from Triple H and Shawn Michaels, I think, too, and the counter that the guy puts Triple H into the Crippler crossface and just gets him into the middle of the ring, and then he taps out after winning the Royal Rumble and going from number 1 and eliminating the Big Show, being there for over an hour at least, and celebrates with Eddie Guerrero as well, and then that's the ending to a great WrestleMania, and that's why it is my number 2.
Just like my film reviews, a 10 out of 10 is a score I really give out. A 10 doesn't mean that a film or any other material is perfect, but a 10 represents why it is so good. It raises the bar upon epic proportions. And throughout every WrestleMania, there's only 2 WrestleManias I've given a 10 out of 10. Only 2. And each one of these could be number 1. My number 2 is WrestleMania 19. Now, You obviously there are a couple of stingers, like the Undertaker with the Big Show and A Train. I mean, it's not the Undertaker's fault. I mean he's working with Prince Albert and Humpty Dumpty. you know, um, you had a triple threat tag team match, with Benoit, Rhino, Team Angle, and the Los Guerreros.
Oh yeah.
Eddie and Chavo. Triple H and Booker T. Booker T should have went over. I'm sorry.
The wrong guy won.
Wrong guy won. And Lance Storm. Fuck Lance Storm because he's a dumb shit. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Especially with the shit he says on Twitter because he's a retard. And then you have some of the greatest matches ever. I mean, you've got The Rock and Austin finishing the Holy Trinity. And then you have Brock Lesnar or Kurt Angle, two legit wrestling badasses. Brock Lesnar, NCAA National Wrestling Champion with a record of 106-5, and he was the UFC Undisputed Heavyweight Champion. He went in and kicked the shit out of many top contenders with little to no mixed martial arts background. I guess you could say he was a casual MMA fan. And then you have Kurt Angle, Olympic gold medalist in the 1996 Games in the heavyweight division. He won it with a broken fucking neck. Despite that botch, awesome match. And then you have Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. Talk about the old generation versus the new. Two wrestlers who have a lot in common, who share similar qualities in terms of personality and ring presentation. Just gorgeous, just wonderful. And yes, 19. If anybody has this at their number one, I can't blame them because it is one of the absolute two best. That's why 19 is my number two.